I guess you'll take us through the winner and then your reaction to it looked like, was it a little bit of relief maybe, just kind of like, I think you were, did you skate away, you skated into the boards, then like,
yeah, I don't really know what I was doing, to be honest with you, but honestly, just obviously the relief of how hard we've worked. And in an elimination game, it's really hard to end a team season, especially one that's been doing so well, especially in the end of their season. So I think at that goal, Kelly yelled at me because I didn't see her come off the ice, and for good reason. I hopped the bench, got off, and Grace is great with puck possession. She came around, dished it to me up high. I kind of gave a shot fake, was hoping I'd get someone to bite, and Brooke McQuigg had an amazing screen, shifted like a goaltender over with CJ, and then obviously I let it rip and was hoping to just keep it low. I had missed probably 4 opportunities to score before that for the team, so I don't care about me. Obviously, I'm just happy that we're here and that we get to continue to hopefully repeat soon.
How much was tonight just to get on our back? Our line's going to lead the charge. You know, we've had some great players step up for your team, but your line, especially tonight, was really kind of leading the way.
Yeah, I think it takes everybody. In little ways, big ways. You think about that game and just whether it's a big play or a little play or puck chip out here, or Nick Hensley making a breakaway save in overtime, and you talk about Taylor's goal. You go back to that that play. It's a game of inches. It's a game of mistakes, and I think at times games aren't won, they're lost, and I think it took everybody tonight as it did this entire series, and that's what it's going to take moving forward.
Seemed like you guys came back with a little more bite in the third period and overtime. What was the mentality in the locker room?
Yeah, I don't think we were quite as happy with our first and second. Obviously, when you get scored on first, it's hard. But I think for us, we came back with a vengeance and a fire in the end of the second and the third. You just got to realize, like, this is the last 20 minutes we want to play. Obviously, we played more than that. But, like, putting down and grinding, I think everyone did a great job. We had some little injuries here and there and people, working through things that they've worked through all year. But really just proud of the group. And obviously Nick's back there backstopping us, and we have the defense working their butts off. And then you have forwards trying to get pucks on net. And I think collaborative effort, like Kendall said, if everyone doesn't do their job, we don't win that game. And I think obviously our lines are rolling really well right now. I thought our gold line did amazing tonight. They didn't get rewarded for it, but they're going to. And like I said, we're happy to be where we're at and rolling. I don't even think that was our best, so we can go better than that, I think.
For either of you, not the first time this team's played an overtime game in the playoffs. What does that, how did that experience help you when you went out to overtime tonight?
Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few overtime games this season in regular season play, and then some playoff situations last year. But I think everyone is prepared for the moment and ready to embrace the moment. Just take a deep breath, and if you're looking for some confidence, just look to the left and look to the right, and your answer is right there. And I think the belief in the room is there, and that's what's most important.
You had an answer 14 seconds after they make it 2-0. Just how important was that moment?
Yeah, I think, when our line this year, our goal was to not play in the defensive zone. So we've let in a few goals when we've been out there, and we're obviously not happy with that. That's not something that we want to continue. So I think for us it was, we don't want to let our team down. Part of that is when you're on the ice for a goal, you want to rebound right away. And we know from prior experience, like when you score, a lot of teams let the gas off a little bit. And when we came back, obviously, getting shots on net, Kendall's presence in front of the net is well known, and that goes off a skate, and that's exactly what you need. Getting your team back, you could tell our bench energy today was there. And obviously an elimination game, when you're on the other side of it, is a lot more fun than when your season's on the line. But like I said, it's just such an important rebound and not trying to relax. Obviously, when you could be down 2-0, you can take that in with a grain of salt and say, oh, we'll sulk about it, maybe we'll get a goal. But getting one right away, that kind of puts a statement for your team just to be like, okay, we can do this. We're 1 goal behind now, and we can just get after it.
Did you miss the net just before the winning goal?
I probably missed the net 3 times leading up to that. But just the belief in my teammates every time I came back to the bench. I had 3 or 4 people tapping me on the back saying, you got this. Like, you practice for this. You do all the things that you do. Like, get out there and shoot the puck with pride and focus. And I think the last one just waited it out a little bit. And like I said, we had so many good screens, so many good passes today. Like, I want to do it for the team. Everyone we talked about after the third period was someone put the puck in the net. We don't care who it is. We were putting money down on it. Just like literally get in there and do it. It doesn't matter who it is. And we're going to be happy for anyone. And honestly, it could have been anyone at that point.
How big was the pool?
Well, we didn't keep track that way, but we were keeping tracks of either drinks or money. So honestly, it was a lot of fun, and just keeping it light in the locker room, I think, is where we take things. You obviously want to sit and talk about the things that you can control and the things that you want to open up on, but just keeping it light and realizing, like, we're here for a reason and we love the game, and that's why it's fun, is when we go out there and have fun, you can tell it's a better game.
When it becomes obvious, 25 minutes into this one, that the whistles are only going to be used for icing, does that kind of open things up, or does that frustrate you?
I would say I'd rather have it be that way than have it be back and forth every single time. Both of our power plays, theirs and ours, are pretty lethal. But I think for us, obviously, once you see that a few times, you see your goalie being taken out, you see, lots of trips and stuff. It's better to keep it in than to have it be blown every 3 seconds. That's my opinion. I don't know, other people can have others. But, yeah, obviously, I think you just take it with it is. That's not controllable for us as much as you want it to be. So I think we took it with a grain of salt and realized we can work through it.
How important is it, Kendall, not to have to go back to Toronto and to have some time to recover emotionally and physically?
Yeah, it's important for us. We've been on the road quite a bit this season, and that's no surprise to anybody here if you follow us and follow our schedule and where we've been and how much we've been here and haven't been here. So to have a few days at home to regroup, not just from a player perspective, from a staff perspective, some of our staff members are able to see their kids graduate, be with their kids for the first time in a long time. And so I think just, that mental reset, as much as of a physical reset, to be here for a couple of days is going to help us. We can't, our mindset, we can't relax, we can't let off the gas. We're still in playoff mode, but to take advantage of this time that we've earned and, to reset and refocus and wait to see what's next.
The quick responses that the team did have tonight, being down 2-0, getting a goal right away, tying it. How much is that a representative, just in general, of the belief that your team has, and we're never out of it, we're, despite what anyone else might think or what the scoreboard says?
Yeah, I think it's just the belief in the room. Obviously, I think there's been some times this year where we haven't responded and we've just kind of waited for the next person to do it. But I think in the past, I would say month or two, just having the belief in the locker room that someone's going to do it, but you're going to do everything you can to help that person do it. I think the rebounding and the getting back to the game, it's never done until it's done. Until the last whistle blows and you go and you shake hands, it's never done. So I think for us, it's just always refocusing on the next play. If you miss a back check, if there's a goal that goes in, if you miss the net, it's just the refocus and the aspect of our locker room and our crew is so tight that it just makes it easy to refocus. But obviously not everything's going to go your way. This isn't heaven, this isn't here that everything's perfect. So I think just having the mindset that things can always be better, things can always be worse, take the positive aspect of it, and bringing up a teammate's also something that I feel like we do a good job of someone does it, you're like, oh my God, you almost had that, you got this, you work for it. There's just so many positive attitudes that just helps everything along with that. Even if you're down, you're still going to be up because we're going to find a way to make it work.
We good? Or you got one more, Jerry?
Did you feel like they were gaining any momentum in the overtime with some of the saves they made, Nicole made?
Oh, absolutely. When you have a goalie that's on her back, made 3 saves in a row, we somehow get the puck out, and then she makes 2 more right off the bat. Obviously, the first overtime, what I think is tough, obviously, is the second. It's the second period change. When you go in that first overtime, we flip ends, so that's kind of where we were at. And I think getting our defense off the ice, getting our forwards off the ice in a good amount of time, we got stuck out there a few times, but when you have that backstop back there, you chip it out, you keep going, and I think our puck possession in the O-zone today was awesome, and I'm really happy about that because that helped us turn the momentum in the game. Whether they had it for a little bit, we were always getting it back.
One more.
Following the Montreal-Ottawa series, and happy you didn't go into 4 OT, I'm sure, but any comment on that, and then obviously for the finals?
Yeah, I've watched a bit. I'm sure our team has too, but no comment on it. We're just excited to be going. Wherever we're going, we don't care. We're just happy to be here and happy to get after it. Obviously, we're going to see who wins and tailor to that a little bit, but we're happy to get a little bit of a break at home.
I don't know if either of you noticed, there were no media timeouts in the third period. Did you guys?
Part of the rules.
I noticed.
There was one under 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yep.
Did that change
Regardless
the
of,
pace?
regardless of icing, penalty, no matter what, it's under
Okay.
10.
Does that kind of change the pace of things, and especially in a tight game
I
like
didn't
that?
even notice it, so I don't know.
It's on the timing sheet.
I don't read that. We have the moms of the group that do, so.
Speaking of, Kendall has to go relieve the babysitter.
Yes.
We got
Mom has got a duty.
We'll get Kendall here.
one didn't go 4 overtimes?
We did not want it to go 4 overtimes, definitely not. One of those crazy games, right? Every game in the playoffs is a little different. This one kind of took a personality of its own on there. Obviously, low shots from both teams early, and just kind of, I mean, we weren't as sharp as we have been. We were, having some turnovers, having some uncharacteristic mistakes, but at the end of the day, we found a way to win. That's the biggest thing. Playoffs, you got to find different ways to win every night, and big credit to our squad for doing that.
Have you been involved in a game where they didn't call any penalties?
I have. It's one of those things. It just, I think the refs were, letting some stuff go early, and then they kind of got in the mind of, hey, we're going to let the players decide it, and it's okay by me. I think the players would agree. Just it's let them decide it, let them hash it out, and they definitely, they played hard. Both sides played super hard.
Go ahead.
How critical was that second period? I mean, you wound up with 4 shots on goal, you fall behind 2-0, and after it's all over, you're tied. I mean, it just seemed like the game could have gone either way at that point.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, like I said, it was a totally different game than the other game where we were kind of clicking. We were advancing the puck, getting behind their D, making sharp passes. Tonight, we couldn't seem to find our rhythm. Like, credit to them. We knew they were going to play hard. They were going to play super tight. That's what some of our coaches were saying. Every time our players looked, they looked like there was 5 shot blockers in front of them trying to help, keep it out of their net. So it was definitely a different game tonight. But again, at the end of the day, just finding ways to win is the key.
You are the only team that's made finals both years. What does that say about this group?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a testament to the group. I mean, you look at the leaders, obviously Kendall, Lee, Kelly, first and foremost, with our captains being great, and our goaltenders are experienced and veterans as well. They've, played in Olympics and had a wealth of experience. And then we obviously have our young players, Taylor and Britta. Like, I mean, you look at Sophie Jakes is an up-and-comer, adding Claire Thompson to our group. Like, we have a young group, but we also have a veteran group, and they've been in these situations a lot, and they don't get rattled by it, which is good. I try not to let them get rattled, but obviously we're out there, they're giving it all, and they know they're going to take some bumps and bruises and do what they got to do to try to win.
How important is it now to have a few days to recover emotionally, physically?
I think it's big. I mean, coming off the end of the year where we had to play to get in, that takes a toll on you mentally, and then we played really good in the first 3 games, and then we're fortunate to kind of get out of in 5. I feel like, or to get out in 4, just to be done with this series, have a couple days of rest, and then see where the next task is.
Where to be home for a few days?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, we're scheduled to fly out 7 tomorrow morning if it didn't go our way. So it's kind of, I told them yesterday, hey, we're obviously planning for the best, but also if we have to go to Game 5, we do, and plan to be on the road for another, 10 days to 2 weeks. So that's the nature. That's what we signed up for. So, we got to be ready for it.
What went into the decision to go back to Hensley tonight, and how do you think she played?
She played outstanding. I mean, she was a difference maker for us, which, our goalies have been difference makers for us. The coaches all talked, and she had played really well in the last 2 games of the year to get us into the playoffs. And then, she played well in the game 1 in Toronto. Like, we started slow. We spotted them 3 goals, and then we started coming back and made it 3-2, but just couldn't get over the hump. But it certainly wasn't anything because of her. So, and then it was just kind of like, okay, well, Maddie's had a couple, and she got wins, and so let's get Nick back in there because we know we're going to need both.
There was a potential goal, puck covered in the crease. There was, your goalie got taken out. How do you balance the frustration of no calls with, okay, if you're only going to blow it for icing, let's go, let's play?
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things as a coach you try to battle. I mean, obviously I got upset with the covering the puck in the crease in the last minute because to me that just can't happen. It's but it's one of those things. The refs, like I said, the refs are doing their best to try to let the players decide, and so I let it go. I didn't say another word about it, and hey, we're in overtime now. We gotta play.
We talked a lot about Jakes. We've talked a lot about Steckline in this series. How much was tonight that top line saying, get on our back, let's get this thing done?
Yeah, I think, there's no doubt in my mind Kendall did not want to go back to Toronto. She spent enough time away from Drew lately, and so I think she's like, I'm not letting it happen. So if I can spend 2 or 3 more days at home with my kid, I'm doing it. And she obviously, she was outstanding tonight.
How important is the film from the existing Montreal-Ottawa series in prepping for the finals?
It's good. it's, for me, we try to worry about ourselves, not knowing who we're going to play. Right now it's just about us cleaning up our details. When our details are good, we look like the team that can put up 7 goals. So, and when we're not, then we're in a dogfight. So for us, we worry about ourselves, really trying to clean up. But then obviously once the series is done, we'll have pre-scout done on them. And we play each other, 5 times during the year. So we have a pretty good idea of their players as well.
Kendall, or Nicole was obviously good throughout, but especially I thought maybe 5 minutes into overtime, it looked like there were a couple shifts where your team was a little hemmed in. Just what did you see there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had a bad change that led to a breakaway she had to save. We had a couple D-zone coverages where our D, I think maybe even the first shift of the period, our D got caught out there for an extended shift, and then that's where you run into problems when you can't get it out, get it in, get fresh legs on. That's what we had been able to do to them so successfully was we call it stacking shifts. We try to stack shifts, 3, 4 in a row where we keep the same players out there and we're just kind of rolling over our lines as quick as we can to try to, it's a momentum thing. So we're, they did it pretty well to us in that, but it was good that we bent, not broke. So.
Your second goal looked like was one of those where you just kind of kept them
Yeah.
hemmed in and like, we're not getting off the ice until the puck's in the net.
Yeah, well, I mean, we probably made 2 or 3 changes during that shift, and that's it. I mean, like it's smart changes at the right time, playing full speed the whole time, not coasting, hoping for a break, but doing the right thing, playing the right way, and earning a break.
This game tonight an upgrade from a coach's nightmare.
6 shots halfway through. I don't know about that, but I didn't think it would maybe quite swing quite as far. But yeah, no, I mean, we just, like I said, we knew it was going to be tough. Like, I mean, they're a resilient group. They've got a lot of national team players who have played in big games, and we knew they were going to be tough. So, again, it's not about me or the coaches or any of that. It's all about the players and them, at the end of the day, getting the job done, and obviously they did it.
Good? Great. Thank you,
Thanks,
Ken.
Ken.
Cool, yeah.
Appreciate it.